far as roll call goes, what do we need to do? Just note who's here?
Yeah.
Eric will just note who's here?
Yep.
Okay, then if we could just take a minute or so to look through the minutes from our last meeting and we can get those approved.
I'll make a motion to approve minutes from January 14th, 2026 meeting.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We accept the minutes from the last meeting.
Hello.
All right. So we're on to item number 4 already. This group does not screw around. We are on to the fairly important part of the agenda, obviously, which is to discuss the Discover Manitowoc grants. So Courtney, I don't know if you want to kind of take over at this point and just
yeah.
kind of give us some guidance and
Yeah.
provide some, you probably have some good history.
Yeah,
with
so
things.
this is, as you all are aware, the first time that we've done grants in this way, where the Visit Manitowoc Board is making recommendations to the Room Tax Commission. Their meeting will be Tuesday, March 10th, during their normal meeting. In the past, the last few years, after our first year doing this, so 23, 24, 25, I would go through, make recommendations, and that would help guide us at that Room Tax Commission to have conversations with the event organizers, because we do invite them to that meeting to answer any questions, speak to their grant, and then that is where the awarding happens. So this year we're doing that a little bit differently, where we're going to make recommendations today, and that we will pass on to the commission. I'll be taking some notes as well. So I'll have an additional memo with maybe some pieces to highlight. I always highlight for them to some history, especially when it's those repeat grants, so they can see that in that meeting. It's a lot to keep this to an hour today, and it's a lot to keep that to an hour. But yeah, that's kind of how we're going to run it this year. Wanted to involve you all in that process. We do have budgeted $40,000 for Discover Manitowoc grants. And this year the request came in at $107,200. There were 11 applicants, and this has been relatively similar to the last few years. I think we've been averaging 80 something to 100,000 in requests. 8, 9, 10, 11, I think has been the max applicants. Really what we're looking for, and we've made some additional background, that this grant program has existed with the Room Tax Commission for a number of years. So when the MAVCB that agreement was in place, the Room Tax Commission did use some of the other room tax dollars that stayed with the city to administer this program. Community development did help a little bit over the course of that time, and then in 2022 we transitioned it to our department. Since then, we have made some minor changes to the grant application to really hone in on what we're focused on with tourism marketing is marketing to outside our community. How are we bringing outside visitors? And then we've added questions in the application itself about overnight attendance, some of that data, because those are really the questions when the Room Tax Commission has organizers here and they are debating between funding one grant or another. They're really trying to get some of that that overnight data from them, an assurance that this is going to be a can't miss event or project in the community that really will attract people here and attract people to stay overnight. So it's a difficult task sometimes to look at so many different events and different projects. It is not necessarily comparing apples to apples, but we're just looking at overnights. You it. Let me grab you another chair. My handy dandy additional packet. Just want to go over.
I'll pull a chair up.
Okay,
over here.
perfect.
No, that's fine. I'm so sorry.
No, don't worry.
No, nor should you. You though.
And now we have full attendance. We're looking at overnight visitors, how many visitors is this event bringing in here? We're also looking at could this event happen without this funding? Would this event come to Manitowoc without this support and funding? We also don't currently have another bid fee budget line or a grant for bid fees. So that's something we kind of take into consideration too. Really focusing more on events rather than, sometimes there's a line between fundraiser and event. Again, focused on marketing, and then those higher level like venue organizer fees, startup kind of costs have been involved in the past. Events historically that this has really supported. It got the initial Evergleams off 8th off the ground, Subfest, Wendigo Fest, the Wisconsin Sand Sculpting Festival, just some of those bigger events that have had continued for quite a while or still are. And I did want to this will come up today, I also brought minutes from last year's, just so I kind of arranged them on the agenda so the past ones were listed first. So how this grant has been formed is loose components similar to a GEM grant with the state, if you are familiar with that, where it has, or just some of their other grant programs, a 3-year funding limit, and every year the idea is that you are becoming more financially stable in this new event, so you don't need as much money. So for example, in 2023, the Wisconsin Sand Sculpting Festival got $10,000, in 24, $9,500, and $9,000 in last 2025. Sorry, lots of years. So that would be an example of decreasing. We have gone against that in certain situations where, for example, CASA's Magic Trolley Ride had received a grant, maybe it was 2019 pre-COVID, and then they got $10,000 that year, brought it back a few years later, and really we're starting again from scratch. We awarded them $10,000 again that next year because we reviewed all the grants, the Room Tax Commission asked questions, and they were kind of starting from scratch. So that's the idea, but in a situation like that, we could go against that. But yeah, repeat grants this year are applicants Nightmare Off 8th. This is their second year applying. Tuesday night food truck rallies, second time applying. And then Mid-Mod Manitowoc Christmas in July. Technically, they're wording it that it is a new event, but we're viewing this really as that third year of like that Christmas in July. We're kind of looking at it at that lens to me, but that is up for discussion as well. Trying to see if there's anything else I wanted to mention. Transparently too, we did have the grants closed on Monday. 2 came in, or the grants closed on Sunday the 15th. We did accept the curd crawl and food truck rallies on Monday. Because we were just working on, compiling everything, and they had asked if they could still get it in. But yeah, are there any questions? Yes.
So I know they're requesting, like, let's say $10,000. If we decided, because I know we have a certain amount of money, if we decided that this is something that we think would be good, could we do less
Yes,
money?
yes, and that is
Just-
something we have done often.
Okay,
Like for example,
like Nightmare Off 8th is asking for 10,000.
yes, and we,
maybe we think that that's something good, but we also want other events to be able to.
Well, that's what happened last year with the food truck rally. I had requested 4. The group said, we'll give you 2. I'm more than happy with that, so
Right,
that happens,
right.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Yep.
perfect.
yep, so we can certainly do that. Sometimes we do, like I think in the case of Paul last year, we looked at, there were 2,000 in there for
Advertising.
advertising. So we're like, you know what, that makes sense. Let's do the 2 for that advertising project
I think
piece.
every year is different then too, because it's like you might have, wow, these are some really good applications. I know we may have given Nightmare Off 8 10,000 last year, but
Right, right.
we would love to really help out this other group too, instead of
Yes,
giving them
exactly.
nothing.
Yep,
Right.
exactly, that's
Yeah.
what I was thinking.
I think we have this is tough,
It is,
$107,000 in requests,
Yep.
$40,000 available.
Yeah.
All really good stuff. How do you
Yeah.
decide?
Yeah.
I mean, I
Okay.
kind of want to quit the committee. It's hard, right?
Well, it's 107, but it's 50 for 1.
Yeah, okay.
So I mean, not to be that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No.
it's 10, is that correct?
We have actually, we do not have a cap.
Okay.
No. The highest I think we've awarded since I've been here has been 10, but there's nothing saying that we have to do it that way. There also are a variety of ways we could do this. What we've done for room tax recently is we've kind of gone through and determined where we wanted to go with something and then approved everything at the end in one motion. So we could do that. We could do them separately, because, you know, there's some math involved too. We have to get to that 40 number. I took a rough stab at getting to 42 just so we had a starting point. But we do not have to listen to me at all. Sometimes it's helpful to maybe to start with ones that you're thinking of not accepting and kind of get those off the table. We're open to,
Well, I think one of the low hanging fruit is one that Chad mentioned. I mean, there's a request in there for $50,000. Can we just want to have that discussion?
Sure.
And I think other winnowing techniques, perhaps this time of the year, but
Sure.
Yes.
there's a real push to have this on the shoulder season to off season. So
yes, and that's a really good point, that we have had that conversation with events in the past. For example, there was one year that Kids for Wisconsin had requested a substantial amount, and it was a weekend where there were not hotel rooms to be had. It was just a sellout baseball weekend.
Interesting.
And that
Yeah.
was more of the basis of the denial of, we know it's not going to bring overnight stays because
There's none.
there's not any room to put you here. So that's a very good point to consider as well. And for those that do have, I did take a look at just some data we have scanning some events that might have weekends that have a similar situation, and there is one. The mid-mod one, the event ends on a really busy Saturday.
Is that 4th of July weekend?
No, July 25th. It's
Yeah, it's the
baseball, scenic shore,
Yep.
and every
We're sold
year
out. Yeah,
it's,
everything's sold out.
yeah,
We sell out, we're 204 rooms.
yep,
So, it
So, yeah.
goes, yeah, all across the board, yeah, it's definitely sold out. Yeah, we have another big group coming in, near that August date. We have the open air tours,
yes,
coming in.
yep,
And, we have 165 rooms promised to them, and then there's like 4 other hotels that have blocks for them. So, we'll definitely have limited space during that time.
Yeah, honestly,
sure.
that weekend is pretty much, if it's not open air, it's watercross. That will be in the other, those are the other hotel blocks that we have in place that's it, and that's not
Yeah,
even that
that's it,
weekend,
that's
it's
all.
that week is watercross and open
Open
air.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Which is gonna be great because there's a lot of different things that they wanna go do. Maritime Museum,
Mm-hmm.
over our West Art Museum, they're gonna go to. So, it's a great group, a lot of spillover into the community, so we're super excited. We have like 545 room nights with them, just at our hotel. So
that's gonna be
the
awesome.
business that it's gonna bring everywhere else is phenomenal. So we're super excited about it, definitely.
Well, do you wanna start with that? Yeah, go ahead.
I guess, I sent an email too, but
It was very
I
helpful.
am very familiar with the GEM grant process. We have received quite a few of them through our museum, so I went through these applications with that thought process in mind, like, how is that marketing out of the area, not even just, like, not even in our region, like, let's get out even further, focusing again on that, like, heads and beds. So I guess there were two of them, that kind of stood out to me that would be potential on that criteria of, are we getting heads and beds and are we marketing out of the area? So the Manitowoc Cycling and Film Festival, which, just that name, I was like, what, okay. And then the Great Lakes Watercross, I guess, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more about their marketing plan, from both of them, just with fairly large asks. I don't know enough about some of these other ones. I wish, like that marketing plan aspect, like where your actual ad buy is going to go would have been helpful. But like
Yeah,
really that's what I was kind of going back is like my GEM grant background and how do you make sure that there's someone sleeping in that hotel room that is not a day tripper, that they're either, driving 24 hours or they're staying overnight.
Is the boat thing the same as the one they used to have in Sheboygan? Or is it totally different?
The
thing?
watercross one, that
Yeah.
one is like a jet ski.
Okay,
A jet ski competition.
okay.
I
I didn't really get a lot of detail out of it, so I was.
Yeah, and it's one of them, whenever I say it, I'm like, it's water ski, because no one, I still don't really know the word, watercross, everything.
Because I know that went over hugely well in Sheboygan.
But yeah, this one
Massive
is,
event.
jet ski. We have had a lot of positivity about it from the little glimpses of announcement that we've had so far. That mostly came from, they've completed their special event application to have it at Red Arrow. So that was just kind of a little tidbit that they picked up from council minutes a month or so ago. But this is like a private organizer coming. We worked with them on site visits, trying to get them here, fall in love with our beach. It will be the second big event happening on the new Red Arrow renovations. But this one I'm pretty certain will create heads and beds from the participant perspective. And then I've had some conversations with him too on that person interested in this sport that will stay overnight. But to the point of Jackie, that open air is also happening that whole week into the weekend. So we've really made sure to work with him on having those hotel blocks. So his host hotel is the Inn on Maritime Bay. The Quality Inn is the other block. And then you have Holiday Inn for open air. But there will be, between the two, it will be a good way to end summer. The cycling, I have never spoken with this person before. And this is kind of a situation too where we've had some in the past where we can't award this entire grant.
Seems like it's their entire budget.
and
Yeah.
the entire thing where I don't know if it would happen without our full support. So,
The other thing I would throw in, and I'm not exactly sure, that they talk about, it's gonna be, combining cycling competitions, community rides, you know, we've worked very hard on the downtown,
Maritime,
the Maritime Bay Classic bike race, like we lost it for a number of years, we brought it back, I was on the committee the first year we brought it back, and it just never took off.
No.
I mean, there was a lot of work that goes into that, you're blocking off the entire downtown, and it just wasn't as, I mean, that one year we brought in the road trip band, and it was just like nothing going on, and so when I first saw that, I wouldn't even look at the money, I thought, another cycling thing that didn't work the first time.
Well, and it's a weird combination, cycling and film. I'm like, is that the same demographic? I just thought that was odd. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe it works.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not into either of those, so.
If they have, like, reserved the capital or?
not that I'm aware of, and
It's also, and I'm sure we'll all hit this at one point in time with kind of a conflict of interest, but it's Public Fest weekend. So I don't know how they're planning on using the downtown, but.
that
It
is
says
very
like
true.
estimated dates, so it doesn't even like sound like they're booked.
That's,
necessarily,
yeah, I mean, with something like this, where my head was at was not approving and reaching out and really working with, Juliet, I believe is her name, on how we can support her if she wants to make this happen, in the next year or
Or
two.
from a group tour side of things.
Yeah.
To get everything actually.
Yeah, and I think there's, I mean, from the, Greg and Paul, if cycling's involved, road closures, there's a lot from a city perspective
Oh, yeah.
that I don't think she might be aware of yet, that we can help answer those questions too, and get her set up for maybe a really successful 2027 event.
Yeah, with all these things considered, and that's a really good point too, it's Sputnik Fest weekend, which has been an established thing in the city for many years. And just how bicycle racing has not been successful here in Manitowoc. I mean, I'm just surprised that when we did this, we never heard from this person, if they're a biking enthusiast, I'm not sure why we never heard from them and want to be involved in any way or shape or form, so I'm in favor of not approving myself.
Alrighty,
And yeah, do the reach out like you had talked about.
we'll do that.
That's a good.
Or if this, you know, as that is there a model for this elsewhere? Is it more film festival versus more something? That's hard to determine. The overhead is huge. I think that's where
Yeah.
trying to establish something new, there's not a whole lot of access to it.
All right, one down. Is there another one we wanted to dive a little deeper in? I know we talked a little bit about Watercross. That one, from my perspective, I did support approving. It seemed in line with some of the larger, like the women's disc golf championship last year. We did provide, I think, a $6,000 grant to support. And I think the Room Tax Commission would be very amenable to doing that in the future when we have an upcoming year that we might get that back.
I mean,
Are there
consider the
any other
fact that
thoughts?
they've never had this event in Manitowoc. It plays off of water in the lake. It's tied to the Red Arrow and the renovation and all that, so I think we have to certainly consider, I don't know if it's full or whatever it is, but I mean, we should be, and like Heads and Beds, you said, I think that's gonna attract a lot of people. Yeah. I mean, for lack of a better word, I think that's badass, right? Out on the lake,
Yeah.
right? And the new Red Arrow, I think that's cool, and playing off of it's part of the maritime thing. Yeah. I agree.
And I feel like they put a lot of effort into actually putting a marketing plan together, not just, here it is.
I agree with everything everyone has said. My one concern is with, and when you're estimating for a new event. When you say daily attendance will range from 500 to 55. And it's a 3-day event.
Big.
That's an enormous,
Range?
range of estimates. And 250
But at the
traditional
same time,
hotel
if
rooms.
you don't, if it's the first
And weather
time,
dependent
you
can be
don't know
huge on
what
that.
it's
If
gonna
it's
be.
Oh, I
rainy and
understand.
crappy.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You might
You
have
never know,
cancellation
but I
one
mean,
of
it's
the
the
days.
first time event, you don't know if you're gonna have 5 people or 500 people.
It's more down to the heads and beds. And
Yeah.
I guess that the proof will end up being like,
Yeah.
what,
Well, and the
4
racers, they'll be
days.
here regardless.
Yeah.
So you'll be guaranteed those.
And we have a whole convertible people, coming in. They'd love to get down to the beach in their cars with the tops down.
That'll look
So-
so cool.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we're talking 200 convertible cars, old classics and everything, that are coming for this open air tour. What better than to get down to the beach
Yeah.
with your top down? I think it'll
JFK
be
is
great.
gonna look so cool, that
Yeah.
parking lot.
I think that's gonna, help the event as well. So, yeah, I'm definitely on board.
And one of the things I said that was a little strange to me with advertising, photography, and media budget was $800 only. So, really putting on the gem grant hat, if that's, this is Great Lakes broadly, all the way down to Kentucky, they're saying, how are they getting the word out even to Ontario? That's where I'm, is it?
Do they
inside
have a
circle?
established?
Yeah, so I'm wondering, do they have email lists,
Yeah.
part of the group, how long it's been around? I think it's a viable event to support for sure. I think it will attract, again, you're out of state, you're staying out of town.
Yeah.
So, what the number is, and what is the real promotion side of it? To promote Manitowoc, I want to get it here.
So I think we're all in agreement that this is a worthy applicant. And it'll, maybe we put it to the side and then eventually we're gonna talk numbers and see.
Yeah.
Whether there's 8,000 available or
Or
whether
do
we
we
wanna
less,
divide
yep.
it.
Right.
Yep.
Pass and a go lane.
Okay.
Let's get my Tuesday night food truck rally off the board. I mean,
Yeah.
let me just, last year when I applied for this, obviously we wouldn't have this committee and I didn't see all the applications. And now this year you see all the applications and I'm like looking at mine going, this is pretty fucking lame, but I mean, in comparison, right?
I'm
But
all for food. I love the food trucks.
so I just wanna be clear out there that, if we decide to give some money to some other willing applicants, there are no hard feelings here, just so you know, and I know I
No,
won't
I
vote or
appreciate
whatever, but
that.
I wanna be clear on that. I know Kevin, you're kind of in the same boat too.
Well, right.
Yeah.
I guess maybe on that point is, what have you seen from overhead stations?
And that I don't know, right? And it's just like, it's really hard to tell. There's certainly, we attract a lot of people from out of town. We just know that just through conversation, social media and things like that. In all fairness, it's probably people that were in town anyway.
Yeah.
And it's
That's
giving
what
them,
I was gonna say is that's, the dates you're talking, that's like our busy season for the hotels.
yeah,
And I think if we let people know, they're always asking us, well, where's it good to eat? And if we can say, hey, we have a food truck rally
Right.
downtown, an event going on.
Yep.
You can have the best tastes of Manitowoc just by going to visit there.
right.
And that's-
So I think maybe it doesn't bring people in as what we already have for such a busy season to be able to send them down there.
Yeah, that's, spot on our perspective. It is very difficult on a Tuesday night to always have something fun and exciting for someone to do in summer.
Absolutely.
And since this has been created, this has really changed some of the itineraries we're able to make for groups earlier in the week. Just knowing that there's so many restaurants, even in summer, closed Mondays and Tuesdays. Last year we gave 2,000. My recommendation was 1,500 just to stay in line with that little bit less from the year prior. Again, we don't always necessarily have followed that either with some different situations. But we're so thankful that there is something so lively every single week for months out of the year
We like it
on
because
a
it
slower
benefits,
day.
clearly benefits us, no doubt. But, there's 10 food trucks and we bring in guest trucks, so there's all these food trucks benefiting. And then the live music, we hire live music every time too, so we're supporting the music community as well. But I'd be grateful for anything, but I just wanted to get that out there, that there's a lot of good stuff here. So I'm not gonna be offended in any way, shape, or form, so.
No, I definitely, I don't know how much, but I think we should definitely, go for it. I do like, I mean, the first thing that a guest comes up and asks at the front desk is, where's a good place to eat? They're always asking about food, first and foremost. And like you said, during a slow time, I think that's perfect to propose, hey, you wanna go, you wanna have a nice time, sample a little bit of everything Manitowoc has to offer, here you go.
You said 1,500 is kind of your thought?
Yes.
So, I mean, keep cash infusion, but not so full.
And we use it for complete advertising, you know, I run my own radio ads on WOMT, and I'll see here for news, in addition to, you know, boosting Facebook stuff, and I take care of that. This would be primarily to try to help offset costs. We love running digital billboards on the day of the food truck rallies, on Tuesdays. So it's like when people are just driving through town, and that benefits tourism, but also people in town as well. They're driving every digital billboard, it's just big food truck rally tonight, Pet Skull Brewing, the band, and, we hear that people see it a lot. So that's primarily, actually, it's all what we would use it for, so whatever we can get any help with to offset those costs. But we can add it to the pile and figure out money later, or,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay,
Pasco.
I know. I did not put the right, I'm like, what did I put in the pile? I put my notes in the pile, that's not helpful. Okay, so we've got two good ones. Anyone else, what we wanna?
Established ones, if we go back to
Sure.
that, like, I think the Nightmare Off 8th, just because it's, again, another
Yeah.
event, back, same amount.
Sure,
but-
let's go through, these next two.
Did anybody attend that last year?
Yes,
Yeah, I went, it was well done to state it simply. I was so impressed with how cool it was. Vendors set up, selling all sorts of cool crafty merchandise, there were food trucks. The entertainment was great, the stage that they brought in was like
incredible.
completely pro. I mean, this looked like, it was a professional event that made me proud that it was in Manitowoc. That's kind of how I felt. And you know, and a lot of people were leading up to that, is this like Wendigo Fest? Not even close. Wendigo Fest I know Dawn real well, it's creepy, it's weird. This was like more family oriented and pro polished. Like, I was like, wow, I mean, whoever put that on, I need to talk to help me with my events, because it was so well done.
Yeah, they worked so hard. They worked very closely with our office, definitely, using their resources. And both organizers just have such a passion for Halloween, and had toyed with this in the past and really want to make it, because we do have, at this point, when they were coming up with this event, had a void in our community for a fall festival. Because we didn't have Wendigo Fest anymore, but they really wanted to do something more family friendly. So I went, this was a super incredibly hot day, so we did not stay too long. But we brought our daughter in a cute little Halloween costume, and they had activated that whole street with massive, like, blow up pumpkin that went to the ceiling, and skeletons, and just everywhere you turn, people were taking photos, and I know they really want to make this a lasting event. So, I would support, not necessarily at 10,000, because that's what they got last year, 95 or 9 at the highest for me.
My one thing about it was, and I think maybe they didn't give us their full budget, but their full budget was only $14,000, and they're asking. And that seems like that's a pretty high percentage of your total budget.
Considering that they're also gonna make money on selling beer.
And that's, it's the question of, are they asking for Visit Manitowoc to run this event, essentially to fund this event?
Their entire
Or-
entertainment budget.
You know, or is it like, I know it's not, I don't think wrote that this is a matching grant. But I think in spirit, you have to at least show that you're going to be kicking in.
Right,
Yeah.
sure.
Yes.
That
Exactly.
you're gonna do your fair share.
Mhm.
That this is
Yeah,
to help you.
and that's a really
run
good
it.
point, because they do, because I worked with them on, how to obtain a liquor license and how to serve out on the street and things, and so I think, I know what distributors sell beer for, and then I know what the community
Right.
pays for it, so there's,
Yeah, yeah.
right? That's
Absolutely,
obviously
yep.
huge income. I think all the vendors, also pay to set up shop there, and they do get a lot of sponsorships.
Yes, they do have a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah, they have
sponsorships too.
So,
Yeah.
and I know those folks really well, but just in the spirit of this, I
Yeah.
just think that's a lot of money
Yeah,
that they want from man, when we got all sorts of other great
Yeah, sure.
new opportunities here, that they bring in a ton of money on their own. Now, don't get me wrong, they work hard for that. And they go, all those sponsorships they get, that's a lot of work, right?
right.
Begging people for money. So I agree with Greg on that. I
Maybe
think
more
it's,
along like 5.
Yes,
I would
Well,
feel better
maybe-
with 5. If
Yeah.
their
absolutely. I feel the
full
same way.
marketing is $2,000 right there. It'd be nice to see that money going more towards that than
Yeah.
offsetting their entertainment or the
Porta potties, yes,
Yeah.
I feel the same way.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I definitely agree in, backing them, but at a much lower number.
Courtney, did they report last year what they ended up getting as far as rooms?
Yes,
That's part of the,
they transparently didn't have the best data system in place for collecting some of that, and I will say they did upset one room tax commissioner just by calling the property and asking how many rooms were sold for people that weekend that attended the event,
and then trying to report that.
and trying to report that, and then I got a call, and so that did happen, but they are aware on a higher level this year about having some of that up front, but have been good about having hotel information on their website. They did make a really beautiful website with a lot of information, not only about the event, but other fall things happening in the community, restaurants, other partners to support. But yes, that reporting was a little, not as strong as it could have been. Okay, so we've got another one in the good. The last one that was a repeat event is, to me, again, the Mid-Mod Manitowoc Christmas in July. 2 years ago, or I guess 3 years now, this is the third, it was Mid-Mod at the Inn on Maritime Bay. It was that to a degree last year, but they also began shifting it to be more of this Christmas in July multi-weekend. And that's what it is this year. Nothing at the hotel itself. I will say that in the past had not been very strong in generating overnight stays. So I would not supporting this at the requested amount at all. That was noted. I believe they had 10,000 in 2024 and 2025. They did receive 5,000 because we had similar thoughts. That was feedback that we discussed at the Room Tax Commission meeting. So if money was available, the highest would be that $4,000 range. It is a great thing in summer, and I do enjoy that they're doing the 17th through the 25th. I mean, our office has an Evergleam. Visitors are super intrigued to know why there are a bunch of Christmas trees around Manitowoc in the middle of summer. And we have so many other events going on around that time that there are a lot of visitors in town.
Ticket sales just seemed really low.
Yes.
154.
And then it dropped from
Yeah.
Yes.
the first year to the second.
So we need to fix something in their marketing.
they've only ever done this in summer?
So they do, this is the same group that does Evergleams on 8th in winter.
Okay.
2 years ago, 2024 was the first year they tried doing something in summer. just because the feedback they receive is that it's only so nice in December when,
And people are busy in December.
yeah,
Maybe
there's
it's hard
family
to-
things. So just, is there another time that we could get people who are so passionate about Everglades history into Manitowoc? And people, I mean, do travel all over to see these trees. They're so, so cool.
Like their budget, I mean, billboards are not gonna bring people
No.
to the area.
No.
$3,000, that's insane for trying to do regional marketing.
No,
That's not reaching.
no.
Unless
I
you're gonna
was
do a
just-
billboard in Milwaukee or Chicago, maybe.
Sure.
So, it's just-
I was just asking about the time of year. The first thing I thought, I always try to think of this, what can this community do to bring more people to the area in the shitty winter months? I mean, I'm always thinking about like, what can we've been trying to strategize. You know, like, for example, like Marquette, Michigan always does like this dog sled race. Now, I know that's crazy, but
So cool.
isn't that cool?
It's cool though, if you're up
Yeah,
there during it. We
right?
went up.
Yeah.
And
it's
and we've been thinking about what can we do to do something in that January, February timeframe where it's just, there ain't nobody out doing anything. And I think if there are cool things to do, people will come out, but if it's just kind of ho-hum, you know, Ball's got a band again, I'll see them in July, right? But like something like this, people are in the Christmas spirit, they wanna shop, they wanna buy. To me, that would be a better time of year to have some big weekend event.
We do it in November or something.
Or, like right after
Catching people
Thanksgiving or
before the
something.
holidays,
Yeah,
maybe kind of start.
yeah.
Well, I think that this is a secondary event, so everyone's on that's their big. But they wanted at the secondary event, they wanna take it to the other opposite side of the calendar, to just kind of maximize. You know,
And I get the Christmas in July thing.
Yeah,
I
sure.
mean, it makes sense.
But if they're looking for money, I personally would rather see them take money and spend it in that cold season, December,
To bring that up
Fun-
more
fun
and get,
that.
yeah.
cause then it could help a lot of the businesses around that are struggling
Yeah,
in that
and
time.
when we're slow season,
Yeah.
when there's like, we're dead at the hotel, absolutely, nobody coming through.
Mixing some
Yeah.
amateur ice carving with it, have people walking up and down.
Oh,
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, that kind of thing,
I know a guy.
Absolutely, yeah.
I can say that when we did that, once you do outdoor events in February for a few years, you realize why people tend
Don't
to
do
not
them.
It's like, it's too hot, it's too cold,
We don't
it's
want ice
rainy.
anymore.
Yeah,
It's like, everything kills ice sculptures. It was we did snow sculptures, and I can remember we had to have parks bring snow from other locations, because we had no snow.
Yeah,
For
usually
like
can't.
3 weeks before it, so we had to pile it all up into, the museum's front yard.
that's a good point.
In the winter. That makes
Yeah, and
sense.
if you get that older generation, maybe they don't wanna
Even more
worry
so.
about slipping or,
Yeah, that's true.
bring them in.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That's
I
a good
just,
point.
I just wasn't a big fan of their expense, when you
Yeah,
look at it, it's like, oh.
Farm again, I keep looking at the attendance figures, they report that they had 3,000 to 4,000 at their last two events of this, but you're saying.
In December, or were
No,
they?
their last two,
No,
okay.
July,
Well, I was just looking at the ticket sales
Events.
under the event potential.
but that was the December, and it's hard for me, like, they don't have any, like, room,
No.
information to
Yeah.
back that up. If you have up to 4,000 people back-to-back years that, in an event that's happening at a hotel,
Yeah.
Well, it says
wouldn't
3 to
shouldn't
4,000.
there be some room numbers?
Yeah, they're
Would be fine.
really, we've had a lot of conversations with, the Inner Maritime Bay on that. That they're either year really weren't,
I also have to frame the question whether it's actually 3,000 or 4,000 people who go to the event that day.
yeah. They had,
Yeah, I don't
don't
think they have that many
anyone's clicking
rooms.
those
They've-
people. That's an estimate.
no.
Wow, it was a lot of people.
Yeah.
What would you say? 3,000? 3,000?
They've given a few presentations, and I know that some of those were very well attended. And then the breakwater room, so like the back portion, where like the restaurant used to be, if you haven't been in there for a while, that is kind of like a vendor area where they have like antique mid-mod mid-century antiques. So that was something that a lot of, why can't I think of the word? Just, I think people interested in shopping were visiting, but it did not translate to a lot of overnights. There were, I think, some vendors that stayed overnight, definitely some people, but it wasn't incredibly strong. And then they've adjusted weekends slightly. I know one year it was a really busy softball tournament weekend. That was 2 years ago. I stopped by and it was dropping something off for, I think, that event too. Grab some photos. But yeah, there were, I mean, tons of kids running in, getting ready for the tournament. So we've had conversations with them in the past about even adjusting this weekend because, I mean, even as it is right now, the 18th, 19th is the Sand Sculpting Festival, which is always higher up there in occupancy. And then wrapping up on that 25th would be Scenic Shore, which Friday's not as sold out, but Saturday is.
Well, cause Saturday their shop is in Manitowoc, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I used to cater for that event, so.
Oh, so you know it very well.
I'm very familiar.
Yeah, it's a big beast.
I mean, just for me, I think in terms of, it makes sense in terms of marketing, aluminum is the sort of theme here, right? This is the historic product still to this day. So something, you know, if they continue this, obviously they're trying to build a museum and that's part of it, building awareness. But to make it maybe less Christmas focused and more aluminum generally, like all the products that were produced, sort of is getting that vibe, but yeah, so it just seems like and the attendance numbers maybe reflect that as perhaps less demand for a Christmas in July theme versus maybe a broader mid-century aluminum, you know, collector's show, whatever it is, that this could be a bigger draw.
So do we still have an interest in like a lesser amount or?
I honestly, I don't.
I don't, cause if we're going, again, with the heads and beds, it even says like how many room nights. If our gala event reaches 50 guests, like, that's even.
That's grasping at straws, kinda,
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I would feel comfortable.
no, I think we have far more other ones that we
That
can.
are more beneficial.
I support that.
Alrighty.
And maybe next year if they can show a little better data,
Absolutely, yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
increasing year after year
Yes.
instead of decreasing.
Yeah.
We're coming up to 10 minutes left on our meeting. Does
All right.
anybody have a hard stop? They gotta get out at 1 o'clock or anything?
I need to leave for sure by 1:15.
Yeah, and our Zoom our Granicus we're learning the system a little bit more and some tweaks in here. The recording might cut off at an hour if we should be able to keep it going properly. But just know that. So yeah, I guess try to wrap her up here.
There's a lot of things to discuss, so I just wanted to, I
Yeah.
think we're gonna, these deserve our attention and we're getting, I mean, if we can everybody give 1:15?
I can give 1:15, but, I have a meeting at 1:30 back at the hotel, so I kinda like.
Yeah, and same,
Got it.
I gotta get back by then.
okay, why don't we, if everybody's okay, we'll do
Yeah,
a
I guess.
hard stop at 1:15.
Please.
Okay,
Okay,
sounds
perfect.
good. I'll keep an eye on it.
Fabulous.
Okay,
The next one, if we're just going in order, is Miss Green Bay Area Competition. Transparently, you might see my face in the packet. I was a local title holder. It is open to Brown County and all adjacent counties, which includes Manitowoc County. We did fund Miss Harbor Cities 23, 24, 25, which is an open pageant. You're learning so much about pageantry. Greg is in on it. Pageant dad. But that Miss Harbor Cities is the open pageant that happens in the city of Manitowoc, but anyone in the state can compete. So
So
that
I
is,
was kind of confused on is it actually at the Capitol or is it tentatively at the Capitol?
that's the
I'm just
intention.
Okay.
Is that they would relocate the competition, to the Capitol.
Okay. Is it based on whether we award them or not, or they're planning on bringing it either way?
They are strongly planning on bringing it
Okay,
anyway.
okay.
It's, I mean, transparently too, having been to most locals in the state, the Capitol is a better location than the state competition. It's gorgeous, so.
And it's more reasonable if I gathered
Mhm.
on here, ticket sales were lower and stuff, and, yeah.
Harbor cities and Green Bay's committees have a little bit of, like, there's one person that kind of connects on all of them. Some people volunteer with, just because we're so close, we all kind of volunteer in our regional section, but from the perspective of Harbor cities, it was a really good grant. I thought from data standpoint, and just the recognition that of Visit Manitowoc in the city.
What is the attendance or not?
I think attendance is 100 to 300, depending on contestants. Room nights also depend on contestants and judges. They've used space at the inn for interviews in the past as well.
To me, this does not feel like it would bring individuals outside of the area. It feels a very local grant to me, and I don't see, even in the room stays, it generating much. It feels very much like a day trip with the individuals that they're targeting in their region that could easily just, maybe have a late night at 10 o'clock, but then still be able to drive home.
Yeah, I would say it's just from my experience, that it's usually participants and families that are doing the overnight.
Yeah.
How many day event?
It's an all-day,
One day
yep,
event?
all day, most likely a Saturday. Yep.
The thing I do like about it is it's drawing people to the Capitol. I think we have a gem there that a lot of people don't know about. But again, if awarding some dollars help them make that decision, I'd be in favor of doing something.
Yeah,
But
my
that's-
recommendation would be to at least award the 3,200 to assume that, assure they can, get that venue cost. I love the idea of getting this permanently relocated to Green Bay. Because I mean, long-term, there's a lot of pageant, girls, Miss Wisconsins who have landed in director positions across the state, and we're always gunning to get Miss Wisconsin here for an entire week in June. They just relocated from Oshkosh to New Berlin, but I know Stephanie Klett in Lake Geneva and I would still love them to consider relocating to one of our communities instead. So I always have that in the back of my head that I'd love to get a week-long thing in summer as a result of having a local strongly here.
Is Harbor City's going to stay here?
Yes,
Harbor City?
yes, yes.
So it looks like they're gonna be able to generate $2,800 in income. Their expenses are $9,300. They need $6,500. If we did award like the 32 that you had said, at least that's half of. And then, maybe they need to do a little bit more on the participant fundraising side. Maybe just, I am for giving something simply because I agree with Courtney. I think down the road, this could be a very cool event that could lead to
Yeah,
bigger
I like
and
the
better
idea of
things.
bringing it to the Capitol Civic Center. We do have the gym there, it's beautiful,
Yeah,
and I think,
so that's just a little bit
more
of,
attention we can bring it,
And would there be a way of, say, we would award that amount that we could tie in more community, like, focus things, you know, say, here's your itinerary, we can, you know, incorporate local businesses or, you know, to actually make it
Yes.
a little bit more worthwhile
Yes.
that way, but, you know, to get more money in our community from that instead of just
Even
going
if
to the
it's-
venue, leaving, you know.
Yes, and I will say what we
Showcasing.
saw from awarding Harbor cities those 3 years, I did see contested packets. I saw they really highlight community. So I think even just the perspective of the Green Bay, their accounts, the media that follows a competition like this, the promo from Manitowoc will be positive. Whereas we don't always see that with some of the other grants, which I do always like keep in the back of my mind, like who really takes the, not that you have to thank the city, but, and the resources that we have to share, really utilizing those and utilizing the DMO.
And promoting.
Yeah.
So I recommend we add this to the pile and we can figure out exact totals,
How much, yeah.
number.
Perfect.
I agree.
We have less than 20 minutes and
Yep.
we've got 5
Yep.
to discuss. What's next, Courtney?
The Nook, it was an outrageous amount, 1,000 to 1,500. I support it. Bringing an event of this nature with, I mean, 500 to 600 estimated, at least 50 authors who all seem to have at least some assistant coming. Yes.
Yeah, I thought that
Oh, I
sounded
like
great.
that.
And
Yeah.
it was a very low dollar amount.
Yeah, I know. I was
Yeah.
like,
Like, you could have more,
I'll give you
right?
1,500. Like, I would have
Yeah,
given
and,
you more.
and you know, the thing about, you know, the authors, we've been doing more book signings and things with authors, and it's really, we have a community of book lovers, and,
Yeah.
and it might be a neat thing for Manitowoc to keep growing that,
Yeah. I mean,
that side of it,
advertising,
so I'm,
A great
I'm fully in
opportunity.
support.
People want to come travel, even if they don't stay the night, they're still gonna, you know, visit other things to do in Manitowoc. like
Yeah, and I know we talk a lot about heads and beds and hotel stays, and I do get that, but we're
Yeah,
also
but it's not always
trying to boost
about
the
that.
community as a
It's
whole.
about the
It could relate to
community,
other
yeah.
trips.
Absolutely. Yep.
I also want to ask, for those of you who know better than I, about the early shoulder season, because most of these events we talked about have been fall. What are we looking at for numbers like, this is early May? Is that as, like, open as far as, like, there really aren't many hotels booking?
Yeah, there's really not. Once we hit like June, so like June, July, August, that's our busy season. That's when we're at 75% capacity. I know for us, and we have 204 rooms, so that's when we're the busiest. May, really, the kids are still in school. Not a lot of the parents are traveling, and during the summers when we really get the families traveling here. So, for the sports tournaments and things like that, so.
So this is a good opportunity, time of year wise, for
Yeah.
bringing in more traffic.
Yeah.
I see people traveling for this, so.
From that aspect,
Oh, that's good too.
if it's really nice out, we don't have that. If people want to go in the spring, they want to do that.
Yeah.
But it's local. As you said, when it's June, all of a sudden, that's when we're seeing people really walking.
Oh,
Demographic changes.
and we have the
So an
kiosks.
early May event is awesome.
Yeah, we have the kiosk right there by our elevators, which we try to send our guests to, and it's wonderful. They're able to see what's going on, places to eat, places to visit, and it's, it's provided by the Visit Manitowoc Center, and, it's great. It's all up to date. Plus you can take pictures. I do it
It's
with my
always so
daughter all the time.
Okay.
Moving on with the yes?
Yes.
Yeah, I think
okay,
that's
moving
a-
on with the-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they give a range.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
get to that.
We'll get there soon. Next is Curd Crawl, $2,000 request. United Way started this 2019, I believe. I did speak with Ashley Bender, the director at the Chamber Awards, a week or two ago, and this does happen the same weekend as Nightmare Off 8th. It was a super exciting event. It's kind of nice that Curd Crawl is kind of stemming from the lower part of downtown,
Yeah.
and Nightmare Off 8th is that tail end. So if it wasn't so hot with like an 8-month-old, our intention was to just walk up and down the street for a while. And she did say that she was going to reach out to Jessica and Ariane with Nightmare Off 8th to see if they could do some joint partnering in marketing this year.
Yeah, I think it's great. And again, it's a low amount, 2,000 before.
Yeah, they'd never applied before for this.
No. But yeah, this is one that, it's easy to talk about cheese, it's easy to market cheese,
Oh,
that we've
It's on the nose for an outside
It
visitor.
really
Wisconsin,
is.
that-
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
it's a cheese thing.
that we've,
Yeah.
we've looped this into some of our, larger PR pieces before with Travel Wisconsin.
Yep,
It's the
I
same
agree.
day
I say
as-
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, so it's kind of, I mean, we kind of see it as like the whole, I think Pizza Garden is the furthest up, that is on the cheese curd sample list. So that really does bring the people
It kind
No,
of starts
right
like broken.
right
Quake
there
and then
where the
down.
Nightmare Off 8th is.
I guess the only like hiccup I would have is it's a fundraiser. Like it's very much a nonprofit fundraiser, which is great, but are we getting the overnight stays to complement, even at a small dollar amount?
And that was one that I was going to talk to Ashley, and we have done this in the past too, of put some effort in. Can I work with you on getting a room block? Can you get that information on your website? Can you put a little effort in to really shift that marketing from just, you know, a fundraiser to something that people are traveling?
And the billboard
for.
thing too, it's like, yikes, $2,000 in billboard for an afternoon seems a little.
Yeah, but even the
Much?
ads are all local, like it's
Yeah.
not going out to the Milwaukee or
Yeah.
Chicago area.
I just don't, I don't see a lot of people traveling here just to do it.
It's a little, especially United Way is more of a local, like, community.
I think it's a great
support,
thing
which is
for
good.
our
Yeah.
community.
Yeah.
It's
Just-
still a fundraiser. And
Yeah.
I think it's a slippery slope of where you start to stop people being a fundraiser.
That's what we've always had the issue with.
Yeah. Because I have about 80 of them that come to me, and a lot of them stay in town.
Mm-hmm.
And if word got out that they were like, oh, why don't I have a plan for this? You know, and then I can get food, right, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've got the patrol and police that has got a big room block and he's got 140 golfers. You know,
Yeah.
that's not even fundraising, you know what I mean?
And,
They probably do all stuff like that, but it would be, yeah.
they've never reached out to us to be part of it.
Really?
And we've got,
That's crazy.
and we've
Your
got cheese
cheese
curds.
curds are one of
And
my
we advertise,
favorites.
we're from Pine River, you know, they're
Right.
local, and people rave about them,
And you
but
go through a lot, I mean.
I don't get contacted, and I'm just like, I don't know why, so,
Yeah.
I'm not in favor, clearly.
All right.
I'm just kidding,
Well, I think
but,
I don't see it,
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like an event as much as a fundraiser.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and they're already asking for donations, so I don't know why they're need money for raffle baskets. I mean, they reach out to me every year and I donate, so I'm
I
sure
mean,
there's
it says
plenty of
right
other
in
people
there.
that
Yeah.
do.
Fundraiser.
Yeah.
Local.
So,
I'm in favor of not supporting.
yeah.
Alrighty. So we have three more, Night at the Museum, Iceberg Ahead, Kids from Wisconsin, America's Soundtrack, and Wells Regional Choral Festival. Night at the Museum?
Yep,
Do you want me to talk about it?
yeah, if you have anything.
Yeah, so it's a new event for us. It's actually one we're planning to do yearly. It's tied with the International Film Festival, Wisconsin Shipwreck Coast International Film Festival, so that's the night before at Franciscan Center. So we have gathered information from that event last year, and there were people saying that they actually have demographic information, how much people spent locally, so that we'll do again, and we'll be getting Wisconsin Shipwreck Coast Sanctuary, National Marine Sanctuary. This event, though, is really intended to draw that audience and build awareness throughout the sanctuary, up from Door County to Milwaukee. And with White Star Line, I mean, we've seen just a tremendous interest in Titanic anything at our museum, as you can imagine. So it's more of a community-based event that we wanted to grow to a regional event. And so that's where our numbers are conservative when it comes to 200 attendees through that night itself on April 11th. We know have generated, again, a lot of buzz around it, and the marketing side of it. The number's high, I get it. It's not like we were like, well, let's, Alex, our person that put the application in, put a high number out there. But honestly, anything that would help with bringing some attention across the shoreline from Milwaukee to help to generate that. I mean, there's a lot of, the expenses are really the entertainment. We're opening up a gallery. It's going to be in the museum space, so that's new for us, where we're going to have beverages in there as well and food. But again, this is celebrating maritime history connections to Manitowoc and Wisconsin when it comes to the Titanic. We're not marketing it as a fundraiser. It's not really a fundraiser. It's more of a community-based regional event. So while there'll be raffle items inside an auction, that's not the focus. It's there as a bonus. But really, we saw this as a success for swinging into dry dock, and that's why we decided to pivot to this direction. When the submarine left, it was a huge event up at Aristotle. People really loved it. It was a dress-up event, so they can wear their finest costumes from the 19-teens. So that's our first of hopefully many. Museum, so the theme will change every year.
Is that what's going to be called, like Night at the Museum?
Night at museums, whatever.
Okay, fun. Yeah, I like that it's connected to with the day before. Film.
Festival.
Yeah, thank you.
Wisconsin Shipwreck Coast International Film Festival.
It's a mouthful, so that
Yeah.
just wasn't coming out of my brain.
So we'll have discounts at the museum that whole weekend for attendees to both. So yeah, it's cross promoted. And yeah, that we know where people from literally Milwaukee and beyond that are part of their. We would help market through the Wisconsin Shipwreck Coast National Marine Sanctuary. So there's some there that we can pull back on any marketing that is requested here, but getting it off the ground is the goal.
And I appreciate your marketing plan always. Even last year when we did not approve your cobia, it was still my favorite marketing plan.
Earned media attention on this.
Yeah.
I have just a quick question, I'm sorry. I see that you have a dedicated booking code at the Inn on Maritime Bay, which I completely understand because they're right next door to you. But as far as like advertising and marketing, are you gonna be advertising for the other hotels in the area?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
or is it strictly because you have a dedicated booking code, strictly gonna be for the Inn on Maritime Bay?
It wouldn't have to be exclusively, no.
Okay.
You gotta give people
I'm
a
sorry, I
choice.
have to
Yeah,
ask.
I appreciate it.
For sure, absolutely. We wanna cross promote as much as possible.
When you're kind of halfway between, the Franciscan
Yeah.
centers
Yeah,
on that
yeah.
side.
Perfect,
Yeah, I mean, we're right by
Yeah.
I-43. I just have to ask.
No, I appreciate that.
Right?
Well, I like the idea, I do, I really do. I'm not sure about the amount, but I think it's a great, thing for, the city. And I'm in love with the Titanic, so.
Yeah, it's one of those tough things because we want to be great for bringing people up from Milwaukee and,
Yeah.
I mean, all over. Obviously, we got the heads in the beds thing
Yep.
there. It's a 10,000 big request. However, how do you get those people from Milwaukee if you don't
Yeah.
spend money
Yep,
in those markets? So
Right.
that's,
I say definitely yes.
Fabulous. And then
Appreciate it.
We
Yeah, discuss whatever makes sense.
have just two more. Kids from Wisconsin and the Wells Choral Festival. Kids from Wisconsin. So they had actually, just a little bit of background, reached out to us. Like I said earlier, they had requested funding from us in the past. We denied it because of weekend situations. It was already busy. They had reached out to us quite a tail end of 2025 because they're doing a special America-themed performance this year. And we did want to we're trying to incorporate it into our Fourth on the Shore, but we could not pay to fund this. So they ended up, we connected them, we got them in at the Capitol. They did secure a little bit of funding from the West Foundation to make all of that happen, working with PJ. So this additional 2,700 is marketing, and I will say too that we're looping them in. Instead of Fourth on the Shore being a full day of fun on the lake shore in partnership with Subfest, it is a whole weekend of fun, starting July 1st, ending July 5th, and this is that big, one of those bigger events happening on the 1st that we'll be including in all of our marketing. Thoughts?
Well, first of all, it's not a big ask, 2,700.
No. And I mean, this is the, 250th anniversary of the United States. It's a big year.
Yeah, we're
right?
really trying to do, everything
Yeah.
we can.
I think
We're getting,
We just definitely need to, being it's 250 years, we need to go all out for it.
Since you're already playing off that.
yeah, it
absolutely.
ties right in with what we've been tasked with.
But I don't know the number until we kind of sit down. and
Yeah.
talk.
All right.
I agree.
I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool. And then the last one is
3
the
minutes.
Wells Regional Choral Festival. The request after I did a little digging into the email and the application was for 4,000 plus. I support this. It is bringing a lot of people here. Erica anecdotally said that she is a Lutheran student and traveled to Michigan for this festival.
Yeah,
and
it
is
said it hasn't
big
been
and-
here since
it's
what?
Big and cool.
2010.
2010.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's been 16 years.
All right.
Yeah, it makes sense to draw it.
Yeah, I think it's a
These
good,
are the kinds of things that are just essentially guaranteed.
people will
Winners.
definitely be
Painful,
booking.
It's not
Yeah.
a percent here. You get these.
All right. So I've done a little math. We have denied Midmod, Curd Crawl, and the Cycling and Film Festival. So we again have $40,000 to award. We have 45,200 currently sitting if we were to give these at the full amount. Again, my recommendation would be with the first two, to lower Nightmare off 8th, at least to 9,500. The Manitowoc Food Truck Rallies to 1,500. Watercross the Nook, I was in full support. Miss Green Bay, I would support at the full amount, but at least for that venue at 3,200. And then the last three, I could be swayed to do the full amount. So, anyone have any further suggestions, or would you like me to add up if I decrease those a little bit, what we would be at with a total?
Yeah.
Add that.
Okay.
We'll let you,
I would
yeah.
say I'm comfortable with.
Okay.
The ones you said.
Let me
The one
read.
that I would continue to go down would be Nightmare off 8th.
Okay.
Not too far, but I think if that ends up being 8,500,
Right.
that's still, I think, a
Okay,
really.
let me start with that number. I've had like Post-it notes in my office all week just finishing like this, that, this one, that one. Okay, let me,
Yeah, the Nightmare on 8th, that was a good example where they had a $14,000 budget for SVS for 10. And that was where my first thought was,
Yeah.
well, 7,000 is kind of a gift in kind.
Yes, I was
Yeah,
thinking the
exactly.
same
It was
thing.
a matching number.
Absolutely, half would be, more than fair.
I'm also kind of giving them the benefit of the doubt that 14,000 seems very low for a budget of what they produced last
Yeah.
year.
Like, is there more?
So I don't know whether.
Yeah,
Accounting just didn't.
Right.
yeah, and that could have been, I will say too that was, the one document that they had forgotten to attach and they quickly did send it over, so I mean, there was a chance that they did just send the one page and not the other page.
Sure.
Okay,
So I have a little bit of background on the entertainment side and the stage. So one of the applicants' husband owns a production company. $10,000 for bands and the stage, that's so low.
oh, yeah,
He's donating the stage.
oh, yeah.
The bands are
But he
8,000.
can
Right.
put that as an in-kind.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
true.
right.
That's
So the
true.
only reason that I throw that out there is I'm aware, it's like it's like 12,000 a day for that stage, that when he goes and does festivals, that's what it is, so that's not even, it isn't in kind, but hey, it's not her fault that her husband happens to own this production company.
Works well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not her fault.
All right.
All right,
Yeah,
so,
it can be chopped back to,
Oh, I
to get to that.
That, I was starting to think of that after the fact.
okay, so we have right now 8,500 for Nightmare Off 8th, 1,500 for food truck rallies, 5,000 for Green Bay, 1,500 for the Nook, 8,000 for Watercross, 10,000 for the museum, 2,700 for Kids from Wisconsin, and 4,000 for Lutheran. So we're at 41,200. So we have $1,200 to cut.
What about Green Bay?
We can cut it from Green Bay.
I
Because
think we had talked about Green Bay.
we had cut
a
it,
little
we
bit
had
lower.
talked about decreasing it.
Yeah.
So 1,200, 3,800
3,800 for Green Bay.
I mean-
Still covers their.
would covers the
Covers the
move.
cost.
32 plus.
85, 15, 3, 8. Thank you for being so generous to just cut yours, Kevin.
We gotta spread the wealth, right?
I was gonna say something kind of afterwards, but I'll say it now to the group. I wonder if maybe we need to figure out a policy of what we do when one of our organizations is the applicant, when we have some sort of conflict.
Abstain from the
Because
vote or
you
something of
shouldn't
that sort,
also,
yeah.
but you shouldn't have to
Offer that.
offer
Yeah.
less, and offer less.
Right.
I mean, it puts you in a bad situation as much as.
It's awkward.
It is.
Bad situation. I don't know what that policy will be, but maybe put that on the agenda for next time we talk about.
Sounds good.
How we
Great
do
idea.
it.
Yeah, I like that idea, like recusing oneself from the actual
Vote.
vote.
But it's hard because we're doing it in a lump sum
Yeah.
in this situation.
Right.
So that's hard on
Maybe
you.
a scoring criteria, I don't know if that can be established.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That would be,
So like shoulder
Yeah.
season versus.
And next time, let's do a 2-hour meeting, so we don't feel rushed through some of this
Yes.
stuff. 'Cause I like the idea of the scoring,
Yeah.
that takes some time, but
Yeah, but as long as
you gotta have some sort of rubric
One
or
thing I would add
criteria
to
for
that is
scoring.
to have at least some wiggle room on the scoring.
Yeah.
Don't
Yes.
make the scoring be all.
The end all.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
need some flexibility.
Well, and then when they say, why were we denied, we can be like, well, this,
Yeah.
you scored lower than the other applicants. or-
Okay, so Courtney, so we can get a motion on
yes,
this.
let's make a motion.
Do you wanna just quickly, one last time?
Yes.
Go through.
Nightmare Off 8th is 8,500. Tuesday night food truck rallies is 1,500. Mid-Mod Christmas in July has been denied. Miss Green Bay Area is 3,800. The Nook Collective is 1,500. Curd Crawl has been denied. Great Lakes Watercross is 8,000. Night at the Museum is 10,000. Kids from Wisconsin is 2,700. Wells Regional Choral Festival, I don't know if I'm saying that right, is 4,000. And the Cycling and Film Festival has been denied. Do I have a motion to approve?
Yes.
Any discussion?
Nope.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
The other one?
Do we wanna discuss that for
Not in
like
favor?
next meeting
Sure.
for, you know, changes for next year or
Yeah.
or whatnot?
And I
Sure.
think with that too,
Motion carries, Beth.
we will have some shifts in our department anyway
Yeah.
that will be easier to explain.